You know, sometimes I'll be scrolling down my Twitter timeline and I really can't believe some of the stuff I see. Sure, it's basically, you know, an area where you can shout into the void and you'll see all kinds of opinions and just crazy talk sometimes. But sometimes the news catches me off guard a bit, and this piece of news really did catch me off guard. It's basically that Soulja Boy, who is a famous rapper, obviously pretty much everyone knows who he is, he's very famous, is selling a game console. Now, the game console is interesting because I have seen it before, and I think a couple people have, because if you frequent a place like AliExpress, you may have recognized that it looks like those type of systems. Basically, knockoff systems that are sold with a bunch of games built in, and really at a fairly cheap price for what they promise. Now, what's going on here that's very interesting is after that broke, people found it and started talking about it. Polygon actually did a pretty good article about this, checked everything out, and they probably noticed, like I did, the console. The handheld's one I hadn't seen, but I could see why, you know, people would assume that as well when you look at it. But let me show you what I'm talking about here. So let's go to the page where he's selling the item. This is the SouljaGame console. And the Soulja Game console, as you see here, for some reason has AV ports. I don't know why it has the yellow, red, and white composite, but it does. Has an HDMI port and a card slot, which should work with like a micro SD card. 2 USB ports on the front that are for the joysticks, and then a single power button. So that is our system there that is in question right now. And if we kind of scroll down a bit, we can see all of the different, I guess, specs. Has the size, has the weight, has for SouljaGame. I assume that's PlayStation. SouljaGame for PS or PlayStation, Neo Geo, PC, Sega, Game Boy Advance, NES video games, and the age is over 3 years old, whatever that actually means, because I assume it's new. Now, it has 800 built-in games, and as you can see here, they are using an image of Lara Croft from Tomb Raider to advertise it, along with 4K Ultra HD through HDMI, supports 4K HDMI AV out, gaming supports 1280 by 720 at 60 hertz. Okay, game speed frames per second, and it's running on Linux, which is an OS that they have pre-installed with 800 classic games. Now, I have a strong feeling that Soulja Boy does not have licensing for Lara Croft from, I guess that's Square. Square Enix does all of the Tomb Raider stuff. I doubt they have any licensing rights to that, but, well, they're selling it. And the thing that people pointed out was that it looks very, very similar, exact, I would actually say, to this device. This is from AliExpress. I have frequented AliExpress, and believe it or not, I like to go on there and try to find weird systems that we can possibly take apart for a tech wave. I recognize this system because I had actually looked at this before, and I almost bought this. What's really funny is I wish I had bought this, because while it takes a while from AliExpress to ship it out to you, I probably would have had this by now, and we would actually be making a video about tearing down Soulja Boy's console, like taking it apart, which would have been hilarious actually today if I had pulled the trigger on it. I kind of look back and wish I had. But anyway, let's look at this. You can see right away, same backing. The front looks the same. Pretty much everything looks exactly the same. In fact, I would venture a guess that they just use these exact same pictures, and I think I'm probably right if you look at that one. And then we jump over to this one. They look identical. In fact, if you look at the specs, actually, we can actually see that here on the, there we go. The only thing they changed was that they added SouljaGame. So it plays Soulja games. All right, that's probably worth a buy, I guess. 800 built-in classic games, same weight, same measurements, and it's also, this one is over 3 years old person. So that is some quality writing there. Oh, look, they actually have the specifics. Wow, okay, so let's read these specifics while we're at it, right? The specs, item specification. It's white, yeah, dual-core CPU, 128 megabytes of DDR2 RAM. I wonder why he doesn't have these specs here. Nothing there is written about this, so that's good. You pay through PayPal, though, so that's good. Yes, it has, oh man, 128 megabytes of DDR2 RAM, 4 gigabytes of onboard storage, HDMI, AV out, gaming, movie, sure, why not? And then it supports CP1, CP2. Those would be kind of like the arcade emulator stuff, Neo Geo, and everything else. Great. Yes, this is a real thing. This is the image actually here that they used, where you can see that they also used Lara Croft. In fact, I believe that they just cropped this and moved it over to here. Yes, they just cropped it and moved it over. So a lot of things are pointing to this being what is called a drop ship. Now, you drop ship something when... All right, so this is something that would be done a lot. It probably still is done a decent amount, but I think around 2000 and... I'm going to say 2008, 2009, drop shipping got fairly popular online, specifically on Web 2.0s, where you would make like a blog spot and you would dress it up like an actual website, at which point you would start listing these items, whether it's from AliExpress, Alibaba, whatnot. You would never even carry the item. You would actually put it up there for a margin that you would make, and then as soon as someone ordered it from you, you would then order it from this place like AliExpress, with the other person's address in there, and then it gets shipped to them. You never deal with anything. There was even options at the time you could click, and it wouldn't even include the price of it. It would just be like a gift receipt, kind of. That's what's basically going on here. I would be shocked if he has any of these in stock right now. I have a strong feeling what you're seeing here is Soulja Boy drop shipping on his own site. And while drop shipping is technically not like illegal or anything, I have a strong feeling they don't have the licensing to, say, put Lara Croft as part of their advertising campaign. I'd be shocked if they have licensing to the 800 games. And the reason that everyone gets away with on AliExpress, because it's the China wholesale of the internet. You go there and you buy stuff cheap, and it's usually terrible quality. Now, Soulja Boy is selling this one for $150 on sale. It's actually very nice of him to mark it down from $200. The only issue is it is actually $105. Now, generally, it's on a stair step. Also, this one apparently takes 35 days. I guess, if you don't receive it in 35 days, I wonder how long it actually... Okay, delivery time is 12 to 20 days, so this would take, I assume, quite a while to get to you either way, because Soulja Boy would probably have to get it shipped out to you. Unless he just ordered 100 of them, I don't know why you do that, but let's move on to his other project, which is a handheld. Pretty cool. He actually has this one marked down to $100, very nice of him, by the way. This is the SouljaGame handheld. It's exciting stuff. Now, I want to also point out, okay, that this apparently does Switch games, because it says it right here, for Switch. You maybe should have proofread that a little bit before you copied it over. Switch, 3DS, Vita. I'd love to see this thing try to play a Vita game, by the way. Neo Geo, Game Boy Color, sure. Basically, it's an emulator, sure. But it's not playing Switch games. Sure, there's a Switch emulator, but I have a strong feeling this is not going to play Switch games. It does have, apparently, 3,000 built-in games and download support. Pretty cool. It does plug in through AV, and you can see all of the, I guess just all of the specs. Oh, nice. It actually has 2 eyes in direction. This is a quality product we're working with here. Very nice. And if we go around here, it looks like a generic AliExpress handheld, and that's because it is. So here it is. This is basically the same product. This one I had not seen, and Polygon actually found it, so hats off to them for finding this one. And you can kind of start to get an idea as to why people are skeptical of this product, because it's being drop shipped once again, and it's not actually a SouljaGame handheld. It is, what is this called? It's a game console retro 64-bit Anbernic, I guess, device. And I wonder if they have specs listed for this one as well. Oh, they actually sell the Retro FC and the Retro Mini. I feel like I may have looked at one of those before. Interesting. Yeah, this also has 128 megabytes of DDR2. This one actually has 16 gigabytes of memory, a dual-core 528 megahertz CPU, and a 960 by 480 display. So it's packing quite a punch, obviously, but they are selling it for anywhere from $73 to $80. It depends on how many you order at any one time. They only have white, it looks like, and I don't think he's even selling it for anything else. I think his is also just white. Yes, it's just white. So it's a really funny thing to see this, because the reason I think that he's doing this is obviously for some quick money. It's obviously it's an easy cash grab considering it's technically not illegal to dropship, but you are in the gray area here. And because his name is so valuable in kind of just online, you know, pretty much everywhere, right? Everyone knows Soulja Boy is. You attach your name to this, no actual branding, by the way, on the system, then you can usually make some money if you put it in your store. It is $100 marked down again, or yeah, $100 marked down from $200, and it's supposed to be about $80 for one of them. I can't believe he's trying to sell it for $200. So it's pretty clear what this is. Like I said, it's a drop ship. There's no work involved here other than him ordering it and getting it shipped to you, and probably some long ship times. I do wish now, looking back on it, that I had ordered the SouljaGame console just from, you know, AliExpress. These consoles aren't even good anyway. They're pretty bad. They're emulation boxes that are generally junk anyway. But I figure we could take a shot at maybe getting and shipping and everything our own console here. But the R&D and just putting it all together is going to take a ton of work and time, but I'm ready for it. We can do it. This one looks good.